Hood postman, city, hood, click. Let's go.
Be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant is, who the cooperating witness may be, and you never know, somebody who was a friend today may have been flipped the night before and become your enemy tomorrow.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray with y'all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is going to send you a big.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below so when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and the 15th. Welcome to the Mailroom. You come here and take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. Go anywhere in the world and get a couple of lives, but you come right here to get the truth. It's not glorification, nor is it glamorization. It is always an education. Before they had handguns, they had handguards. Man up. Get on the bus and let me take you to school. What's going on with your nose? You can't. I
Hey,
can't.
salute, homie.
Okay, there you go. I hear you now. What's going on with you? How you doing, man?
Oh, all is well, brother.
Can you hear me okay?
A little bit. It got a little static in the back.
Yeah, that's the truck, man. It's hot
Oh,
out here.
okay. But yeah, I'm doing well, man. Had a good day out today. Went up to the Greek Observatory and got some good sightseeing and was ready to put this bill together, man.
Right. Man, can everybody in the chat hear me clear? If not, I'll shut the truck down and we boot it. But hopefully you guys can hear me clear in the chat. Put a one in the chat if everything is smooth. Chase out. What's up, boss? Close. What's good? What's good? Marlena Williams in the house. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me clear. If I need to
Hey,
shut it
salute to
down.
sis.
Right on. Okay. What's going on, my guy? True Floridian. What's going on? What's going on? I appreciate you guys. I'm glad everybody can hear me okay. Man, we back in it. First of all, let me go ahead and give the coming in because gang culture at this point has weaponized social media for misguided purposes. And what do I mean by that? It's jealous, it's envy, it's hate filled. It has increasingly become worse. The misguided motivation drive this phenomenon that's driving this phenomenon, and many use the degradation to exploit online spaces. So there's a plenty of people that come on here for unpopular reasons, and they come on to spread certain different propaganda within the culture. So they showcase braggadocious and outright BS. Um, that's what it's come down to, guys. But I wanted to bring those on here because we're going to talk about four extras a little bit, and we're going to get into some of the stuff that we witnessing on the internet. You know, shout out to both King Peel, I call him the Peel, and shout out to my homeboy young FA, because they recognize who the real culprit is in this scenario. So shout out to both of them. King Peel, man, keep your head up, man, and don't let Adam trigger you, bro. And you already know how to handle it. I see you, me and you don't talk, and you know how to handle this situation. You navigate it well, so no worries, loved one. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep growing. Keep growing your platform, and keeping that spirit that you have. Keep going forward, bro. I appreciate you. I love you. King Peel, likewise, man. Big ups to you, man. And just focus on what you got to do, Peel, and don't, you know, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, baby. As Ray Charles, we gonna make it do what it do. With that being said, what's up, Nose? Talk to me, man. Talk to me quick, but don't talk slick.
Okay, all is well, man. And the reason why I wanted to open up with first and foremost with gratitude and salute to the young homie because I know him personally. I met him, didn't know him, I met him. So he came out there to the in the pen with me, Trig, and if you don't mind, that picture you can put up.
Okay, let me draw the picture up right quick. Let
Okay,
me draw that up right quick. Uh,
because this is important. Now,
so we're talking about 4X, but here go a picture right here with young Nose right here, baby Ben
now,
Nose. Right? Talk to us
that's my
about the
homie
picture.
Trigger from Blasting Fools, and that's my little homie Baby Smoke. They were young. Now you can take it off.
Where they both from, though? Where they both from?
Oh, Blasting Fools and Marvin Gangster.
Okay.
Right. Now,
Wait a minute. You
I
said
think,
blasting fools?
yeah, Black BFGC. That's a clique over in West LA by us. That's my little
Called.
homie, Little Trigger. Yes.
Wait a minute. And again, for those who maybe have selective hearing, I think you said blasting fools.
Black BFGC, Blasting Fool Gangster Crips.
Wow. Never heard of them,
Right.
but let's go, baby.
Right.
Welcome to the
Now
family.
right. Because now they are offspring of us over there in West LA. And they
Okay.
started in, like I said, they started in the mid 90s. And this is what I'm getting at, Mel. This is the youth that was branching off from the structure and doing their own thing. Because, like I said, it became you had crunking crews, you had all these little cliques and crews. They were doing their troubles, dirty old men. All these youngsters was clicking and crewing. Now, saying that to say, these were the little rebellious kids, and then they started becoming, enthused into the gangs. But they
Uh
started,
huh.
clips, just like blasting fools. Now, saying that to say, Trig was a
Right
monster.
on, Ronald.
So I got, huh?
No, I was telling somebody, Ronald, don't pay no attention to me. Keep going.
Oh, facts. So I had these youngsters out there. This is '07, '08 when we was out there in Arizona. Now, like I told you before, we ran that thing like a 180, and we set it up mandatory workout, mandatory program. So when we started getting homies like Four Extras, Tiny Bingo from UG, my celly was Baby Jock, and all these was youngsters, and they was wild, homie, and down because they, mind you, they were coming straight from county jail, reception center, out of state, and so they still had the wild mentality. So Four Extras, he was squabbling down there because Baby Jock, my celly Baby Jock already knew his credit and wanted to see. So I had to, nah, homie, this the penitentiary. We can't do that because Jock is first term. And that split with me and me and Baby Jock because all these youngsters was wild. You had Tiny Bingo from UG. He first time in the pen. He don't know what he walking into. He took, and I had to stop him from getting down. Now to land the plane, basically, I told the homie Drac, rest in peace. I said, man, holla at the young
Well,
homie
that's
for
Drac from
working.
Schoolyard, right? Drac from Schoolyard.
Absolutely,
Rest in peace.
absolutely.
Rest in
Because
peace,
Drac,
homeboy.
absolutely. So, and this is why I regret, and I wanted to put this information out there. So, Cass, because I get Cass probably don't want me on their platforms. Don't want to holler at a guy like me. I get it. I'm old West LA dude. I get all that. But I'll be up in them there with them youngsters and still having a rapport with them. But I get it. Don't want to take it from me, West LA. I get that because that's why I understand this within LA of South Central and West LA, we got our own selective politics. When it comes to that gangster car, neighborhood thing, a lot of us don't feel with neighborhoods like that. Our thing was with the rolling 60s, homie. That was it. We didn't take on 9-0 wars, 30 wars, and so forth and so on. So I still had a rapport with the rolling 40s because my road dog was Billy Bob. Billy Bob, going back, so I'm jumping a bit. Billy Bob was they young homie that hit the pen with me too, man, in '94. I was 23 years old. Billy Bob was young like me, and he was wild. All he used to be a 40 crip. And I'd be like, Bob, cuz you can't do this, man. We can't be tripped. He wanted to trip on the Hoovers. And we was all in CMC. So the homie, man, Bob know me. Saying that to say I'm jumping a bit. Now watch this. The reason why I got love because the play came back on us when Big Crazo rest. Another one of my goons, rest in peace. Crazo from 40s, rest in peace. He came up in there. I was fighting life, man. Me and my homies, Big Skull. We was in Supermax. I was fighting life. I was looking at 30 years to life. I had bleeding ulcers, stressed out, homie. They had me on 6. Now, my point I'm making is the homie Skull, my homie Skull, he was looking at this a lot of time too, and he just getting home from doing all that time. Now, mind you, this is 1998, 99. I'm fighting life. My homie Skull up in here. Crazo from 40s come in. Now, watch this. Skull was in there for some shit that did neighborhood thing. But saying that to say, he was tripping on the neighborhood. So watch this. Now, anybody that know my homie Big Skull, that's George Foreman's nephew. Hey, Mel. So he coming like this. Oh, 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 oh. So right, he got that. So look, Mel, I'm a skinny dude. So every time I got a problem in the door, because I'm doing the Mac rep, I say, get him, Clubber. Oh, oh, oh. He mixing them. Now watch this.
Shout out to Honey Marlena. Go ahead.
Absolutely. That's it. Hey sis, good to see you. But look, so real fast, man. So when Crazo came up in there, I said, nah, homie, we can't do this, Skull. And him and Skull became dogs. Now watch this. The play came back in 2009 and 10. This is around the time when the county jail and the neighborhoods, the gangsters, it was Suwu moving and grooving, and my little homies was getting caught up. Foley, 4 extras, them dudes was down there.
So wait a minute, hold on, let me stop you right there. The Suwu moving and grooving, did that start in prison or did that start on the streets?
County jail.
County jail. Suwu moving and grooving. Okay, go.
Because what happens is you'll get a VNG that'll rather rush a 40 and you'll get a VNG that won't rush a gangster. Because it was that type of right. So this is the clicking. Now the Hoovers, we wasn't gonna watch the Hoovers get rushed and jumped on, homie. Huh?
No, I'll just be calling people names. Just keep going.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. No thanks. So saying that to say, we knew the homies from the Groove was up under the Crim, but we still had love for Hoovers, and we wasn't gonna let the Hoovers just be up in there getting ran through with the neighborhood. So that involved the gangsters by protocol. That's just by protocol. But now saying that to say, we still was able to keep things crippin' because my homie Tiny, my homie Evil D, we was up in there from '05, '06, and then I got out '09, and I went back '09, '10, county jail. Now, mind you, Mel, in the 2000s, Alibaba from 6-0, all these dudes was mashing, and then it's going back and forth. So this is a continuing thing. Now, my point I'm making, you have Foley, goon. G Wiz for gear, goon. Because the Gears was doing the Gearioso. But I had a report because I'm from West LA and I fuck with the Gears. So I used to tell Wisdom, will send message to Wisdom, hey, Wiz, raise up off my homies, for me, homie. And it'll get to, I tell Crazo and Foley and all these cats, 4X, hey, homie, they was in there handling their business. So I knew the aggression that these youngsters was dishing out. Now, point making. The PBGs don't got beef with Rolling 40.
Right?
So this is what right. So this is why I was still able to be instrumental with hollering at them youngsters. Well, not Foley and but Crazo and a lot of the Foley's that I was meeting down there in the dorm with me from 465. Oh, Tiny Bob from six. Look, watch this. Tiny Bob from 60. I talked to him. I let him know that I was gonna shout him out. He said salute. So my little kid, Tiny Bob from 60, he was in that same dorm. And then me and him ended up out of state together and coming back and paroling. And when I seen him on the street, he swooped me up. Mose, get in. He like, man, what you doing walking? Because I was walking in the 60 to go get my car fixed. Because I had a job. So I wasn't thinking that, but just that type of love, man. Now, saying that to say, yo little homies, what I tell dudes, you have a disconnection with youngsters because you're not speaking their language. There's a disconnection because you're not out there with them. Now, I'll say this. Everybody know all the little great, all the Watts and Compton homies. All they say is on Beezy, on Honey, on Beezy, on G.O. So all these youngsters, I'm listening to how they talk on G.O., on Beezy. So there's a language that Compton and Watts got. So every time you hear G.O., you know that's a great on G.O., on Beezy, on Helly Heard, that's the PJ, on PJ. So even Watts homies had a certain swag. West LA homies, we say man, we on that Playboy. What's up, Doc? So we got our own swag. South Central homies, on gangsters, cuz on gangsters. We see the aggression down in the 40s, 30 on rolling, cuz on. That's how they are. So I tell niggas, is it in the water? Is it in the air? Because I know everybody from different sections got their own language. Because when I used to holler at the look, this is how you know you with the great streets. They always say on me like, on watch like, on baby low like, on me like. They say like. So I say, cuz y'all crazy. So saying that to say, homie, the only way you gonna meet these youngsters, you got to have a connection, and they got to see that you come from that same aggression too. So now I say this to say that don't take away from other OGs that may have a different approach, because I know that even I used to tell homies, like when homies used to like, "Cuz that's the big arm," I'm like, man, that nigga soft, and they be like, "Nah, but he got some type of wisdom. Listen," and I used to listen, homie, because I was hard headed. I didn't want nobody telling me nothing. 4X and them didn't want nobody telling them nothing. Especially, I'm looked upon as a so-called enemy, and I'm in the cell with my little kid, Baby Doc from 7-4. You think you want to hear me? Let's stop it, homie. So I knew to turn him over to Drac, who was gonna get him some sense in his head, and that's what I knew what I was doing. And that chest spoon came from me, and compliments of my little homie King and my homie Baby Smoke from Marvin. They can attest because they was right there when he came in, and we respected his aggression, homie. The homies met him back, and I was like, "Cuz, nah, cuz," and it was disrespect. Tiny Bingo, and I land with this, Mel. My little dude, Tiny Bingo, homie. I hate that I couldn't holler at him. He got out and went crazy and got life. So saying that to say,
Wow.
homie, if we
Wow.
don't, yes, because we not attacking. Look, let me say this. Trig, he handicapped. I'm disabled. I got shot. 4 extra hand. Drac, rest in peace. What's the other? Man, it's just a domino effect of all my dudes that I'm seeing, and we ended up being
How many
injured.
how many how many people that you were in the pen with has now that are unalive?
That'll take a minute, man. It's so many, Mel. It's a lot, and
Is
I'll
that
just say this:
many?
within the last 2 years, I done lost.
Look like we lost nose.
No, I'm
Oh,
here.
there you
I
go.
done lost 13 homeboys, and it
God.
wasn't by gang violence. It's by
What
natural
was-
death, and it's by death. It's by sickness. It's by depression. It's about not feeling happy no more.
Okay, so
Enemies is
let's get
not
down to
killing
it
them.
though, nose. Let's get on. What was Four Extras like? Was he like how he is on the internet in prison, or was there a difference?
Well, it was a difference because the aggression
Explain.
got toned down. Okay, the difference between controlled aggression is because it was prison, and he had to. We had a program, homie. So here's where Aunt Hefe is correct. We focused too much on each
Salute
other.
the players. Uh huh.
We focused too much on. That was a headache, Mel. That shit stressed me out because I used to have to argue with Marcelli, Baby Smoke, Trent, all Tiny Bingo. So saying that to say, it wasn't Smurf from East Side Hustlers. He was there. Now, my point I'm making is, Mel, to your question, it was controlled, contained aggression because he worked out. We all worked out. We had mandatory work, and then he had Drac, cuz he had Drac in his ear, and that was real instrumental because it took a lot off of Trey Tone from A Trey and the homie Looney from East Coast. It took a lot off because he didn't understand how an A Trey and a not, I would say not. I'm not gonna say that,
Let me
but
let, let,
he's
let me ask this though, Nose. What
yeah.
was the age range? Because you seem like you was the only old guy there. I mean, compared to what their ages were. What was
It
that?
was
How did you wind up in that position?
Well, like I said, we was the first. We was the first wave, homie. We was the first, and mind you, I was 40. I was 37 at the time. Now I'm
Uh
37. I didn't already been the YA. I've been to the pen, so I was already schooled to go out there. Now, mind you, I'm 37, so it wasn't a lot of older homies. The first wave was young, active 36, 37. We wasn't triple CMS, and they threw us out there, and we just knew how to put it together because we was. I have an H number, man. I've been to prison in 1991, so we talking 20 years. We talking 15 years later, loved one. I'm kind of skilled at what I need to do, homie. So we talking 91 to 2006 of meeting guys like Four Extra Trib. I done already got 16 years in prison, 5 years in YA. So there's 20 already under my belt, loved one. God damn, I do know something. Huh? I mean, come on, let's call a spade a motherfucking spade. And look, Mel, I'm 37. I done
huh.
already been in the shoe. I done been in a corporate ride. And let me say this. I'm not glorifying. I'm speaking on accolades of why I stand for the peace. And I can talk redemption and not get up here and have to worry about somebody pulling my jacket because I'm a stand up dude and I'm a respect stand up dude, whether good or bad, falling or fall, it don't matter. Because where I come from, we lift each other chin up, bro. Because when my chin was down, you know what homies
Uh
used to do to me?
What?
Lift that chin up. Lift that chin
If
up,
that
homie.
chin
Don't let
up,
it
get
get to
it
you.
up.
Because, homie, and it damn near bring tears to my eyes because I was in situations when the whole motherfucking prison yard turned on me. So I was like, man, fuck this shit. Let's go. And I went out blazing. So saying that to say, I know what it feels like to be ostracized. Handle your business, homie. Hold it. And so with that being said, so I done already was skilled on how to get down. It's just Mel. Let me say this respectfully.
Okay.
Compton and Watts, y'all move different, homie, in the joint, as opposed to these cars. We be so fighting amongst each other of who running the gangster car, we can't never shit. So I used to look at the hub and the dub like the G homies. Pinwan and all them, hey, when I used to go get Pinwan, I used to go get hey, go get Pinwan, cuz. And when Juan put the blessings on it, then all these other niggas get to straightening up. That's why I be like, yeah, I know, I'm from West LA, Los Angeles boy. So we was going through a lot, cuz, of just being from over there, all them old dudes over there. So I get all that. But let me say this, respectfully, Venice show lines, schoolyard, gear game, West Boulevard, they know baby knows kept it 100 in that joint with them. Why you think, let me say this, man. Black Capone from Showline. He gave me a pass. And this is why after my end, this was like 3 years ago. They end up doing some shit at one of my young homies' videos. And I come fresh up off taking a nap right here on my couch. I go get some wings and I run into them. First thing he said, on Showline quick, cuz, tell your homeboys to stop, but leave him alone. And gave me a pass. So let me say that correctly, man. So I would God will make you face your enemies and let you walk off scot clean if you sincere. A lot of my homeboys made mockery of that. Oh, that nigga was scared. He was shaking. No, I wasn't, because I don't fear no man. I know Black Capone. Man, Black Capone squad like Thomas Hearns and Aaron Pryor. And when we got the corporate pen, we became the best friends. Look, let me say that again. We fought like Thomas Hearns and Aaron Pryor. When we got to the corporate pen, we became best friends. Him and his
That's
homie Lil
true.
C. Looney and J Rock, them my lows. See, Looney, I still got his Behold of the Pale White Horse book in my mama's garage. That's on
That's a
rap.
great book.
Look, let
That's
me
a
tell
great
you.
book.
Exactly. That's the homie C. Looney book from Show Life. Look, because I went to the shoe. I said, damn, Loon, I got your book. He like, cuz I ain't tripping on that shit. Because he came, when we was on lockup, he used to try to holler at me because, I was like, Loon, I got the book. So he like, I ain't tripping, but jumping a bit. Saying that to say, Mel, I ran across good dudes that was supposed to be my so-called enemy. So this is why I took this bullet as a badge of honor, as an exit wound. So what I tell the homie 4 hey homie, keep that same aggression. Fuck these dudes, homies. Keep that same aggression. Be you, but know that God is talking to you, homie. I live with a disability. You gonna get murks on the disability. You gonna be okay. Cause now, under the disability, if you know your rights, man, you got a license to pop a nigga. Okay. So
So,
yeah.
was you? Let me ask you this: had you been shot prior to going to the pen, or did you get out and then get shot? How did that happen?
Well, I got out mail in 2014.
Hmm.
My life is done. I'm 44. I'm working construction. I'm out of that life. 2017, lo and behold, just do. Now let me say this correctly. I'm not mad at what happened. I'm glad I got shot. I'm glad. I ain't lying. Look, bro, it exited me out of a lifestyle. Cause I would have
Wait
been
a
like,
minute,
bro,
wait a
I
minute,
feel like
wait a minute,
playing.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a
Yes,
minute.
yes,
You
yes,
saying you was happy you got shot?
yes. After I realized, yes, yes, yes.
How do
Because
you?
my life has changed. That's a redemption. Because see, it's an exit wound for me. And a lot of people won't understand that. Because I live with stuff, man. So that was my way of saying out of that lifestyle.
Okay, so let's go
So
through this. How many times were
let's
you
go
shot?
through it. I was shot as a kid, homie, in 1986. Survived that. I thought I was a tough guy,
How many
and
times were
I
you
was
hit? Let's go through the
one
bullet
time,
points.
man, on that
One
part.
time.
And then in
Second time you got
2004,
shot.
5 to my spine.
How many
Twice,
times
bro.
were you hit?
One time. And it
There was.
paralyzed me.
Oh wow. Was there a
Yeah,
third
I
time
thought,
you were shot?
no, Mel, you know my story. I'm walking, brother.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make sure there wasn't no other
Twice.
time. So it was twice.
No,
Got
no.
it.
Twice. 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 And that's why I say I'm glad. It may not be understanding to y'all, it's understanding to me. Because what I'm
Got it. No,
saying,
no, no. I
man,
get it.
okay, so saying that to say, a lot of folks won't get it. Because they think I'm crazy. But God don't see. I don't worry about other people because I know that I'm living my best life than I did than when I was over there in that neighborhood doing destruction. If that makes sense. If that makes sense, homie, I'm out of that life, bro. I'm
So
glad because
what neighborhood were you traveling through that somebody saw you and say,
there's no
okay,
neighborhood that I'm trying. I'm in my own neighborhood.
you get shot in your own neighborhood?
Absolutely.
For the enemies or what was that?
Mel, it's like this, man. It happened how it happened, and it was what it was, and I'm done with it. And I took it off him, and I said, man, we good. It exited me out of a life, homie. That's all. And it happened because, like I said, some of us real hitters, homie, and we lived that life. And I represented what I represented, and that's what it was, bro. Because I promised. Let me say this: I promised my mother that I exit that life alive, homie. And I'll land with that. So it's more of a redemption story because I was paralyzed. I'm walking, brother. Nigga, I'm walking. All these niggas can't even do what I do.
What was the
I'm about to
physical
be, hey, Mel, let
therapy?
me say this. I'm about to be 55, brother. Jack, walking. Who does that? So I think that people need to learn, and like my man got an injury. He gonna have to work his brain, and he can get paid. See, and I'm not gonna get into that because I want to show him if I can holler at the homie and show man, this still you can market yourself, brother. You can market yourself because
What do you think
you can
life?
turn.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. What quality of life
Yeah,
you think is going to be for him, being that he's right-handed? He's now don't have the right hand, right? So now he's going to have to learn to use the left hand. So what I'm saying, I'm gonna ask you this: what was the level? How stressful was it to go to the physical therapy to learn how to walk again? Because he's gonna have to learn how to use a left hand
exactly.
versus not having a right hand. So what's
Now
that
we
physical
talking.
therapy process?
Now we talking. Well, they gonna put him if he can go out there to Downey. Downey is about the best one, and the level it was tough, man. I would say this, man, and this is honest, God truth. I got a Rocky story, so I knew that I had to fight. I was a fighter, homie, and when the doctor told me that you got an incomplete injury, I had a T4 incomplete. Incomplete means you can walk again. If you got a complete, that means you paralyzed, you paraplegic. I was an incomplete. It grazed the nerves of the spine. Now let me say this: when the doctor said that I have an action, that's when I just kicked it in. No pain, no gain. That shit was painful. I don't do no medication, man. I haven't took I haven't took a medication in 7 to 8 years. I'm being honest. A lot of people think it's far fetched. No, I don't do medication. I live with a 4-5 in my back, homie. So I went through the strain because I learned how to live through extremes. And that's something that you have to have a mindset. And I practice Buddhism and mentalism, homie, because I live in pain. But pain can be conduced and reduced if you know how to reduce your stress level. And that's what I work on, man. That's why I don't worry about nobody. I walk out my house, I don't fear no man, brother. So, yeah, I learned.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah, because
what would you say? What
and,
would you say to 4 extra though? If you given an
back to him.
opportunity,
Back to him. The homie going it's more of him going to be able to okay. Losing your mobility and you losing your hand. I know there's two different extremes, but he gonna be all right because he gonna learn. And it took me 5 years to actually get over being that my mobility would never be the same. So once you get into a point, you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to accept that you're gonna have to find other measures and ways to live your life. You're gonna be all right, and then you're gonna figure out. And always keep the glamour on you, homie. Mind you,
what
you
up,
just
Eddie
saved it,
boy?
homie. Keep your motherfucking blick on you, bro, and fuck what they talking about because now, no, it's off limits. When you disabled, I don't care how much of a monster I was. You off
Eddie
limits,
boy in
bro.
the chat knows.
Respect to Eddie Boy, man. Hey, I wanted to say, is that Isaac King?
Huh?
Eddie Boy from 60s?
Assalamu alaikum, Aki.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, he did a beautiful man salute, big homie. I wanted to tell him, man. I wrote it down too. Here it is. I said, I wanted to tell you, man. Eddie Boy did a beautiful build about the reduction of how gang culture is really being white. I wanted to salute this homie. Here you go, right here. I said, yeah, man. I said, yeah, here you go. Eddie Boy, Isaac King said something real sharp. They told me the same thing when I got shot. This is how the homie will know that I'm regurgitating what he said. He said, I watched this video the other day, and he said, Charlotte told me to, when I got shot, this is law enforcement. They said, man, get away from them dudes. I was paralyzed and suicidal now, look, because they knew my life is different. And see, this is my thing, man. I didn't have to tell on nobody. I told her, I said, leave it alone. My homies know this story. That's why I can get up here with no. It's easy to tell one on one, because it's easy. But no, don't still fabricate. My homies know this story. I didn't have to say nothing. I said, leave that alone, homie. And law enforcement respected that because they said that they saw redemption. And let me say this, man. People, people know people. And I'm sitting up in Cedar Side now for 3 months.
RDL.
For 3 months, big homie, right? Running up a bill. I had a construction company working for, love me. So when people love you, you'll never know who come to your aid. So he gonna get the love, and like I said, homie, where I come from, like the little homie, when we get down, the big homies do this. So keep your chin up. Get that chin up. Don't. I'm telling you, I know what it
Okay.
feels like, homie. Be on the, so go ahead.
It go deep. It go deeper question though, knows. How do
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
feel about how? Shout out to my homie Big T. What's going on, Big T? I see you out there. How do you feel about people that get shot by their own homeboys, or they lose a brother to their own homeboys, but they still continue to claim the gang? What's your thoughts on that? Why do they do that?
I can't really say why they do that. I can only see it from where I had a similar situation with two of my young homies who's rest in peace. And the neighborhood, our hood killed, and bitch ass, he got life for doing some bitch shit.
Eddie
He's a
boy
bitch
said they
nigga.
stupid. Eddie boy said they stupid.
Yeah, they stupid. I agree, Eddie. And my point making is, because I saw that I would never be from a hood if they hood killed my brother. Because my little homie, Tazell, rest in peace, got killed by the hood, and his little brother Marquette, rest in peace, ended up losing his life. But he would never turn the hood. But when I had to school him and I saw him in the system, I said, hey, homie, the hood, everybody from the hood didn't feel like that. And I know why you didn't want to turn the hood. Man, you nigga, the homies killed his brother. I said, why is he gonna be a PDG and the homies killed his brother? And so they started bedrock gangsters. That's the birth of the bedrock gangsters up there. So which I had no problem with it, but I just knew why the rebellion is. Because nigga, you niggas killed the leaders, brother, idiot. You fuck you think he gonna excuse my language. The hell you think he gonna be from PDG? So to that question, no. I feel like it's stupid, like Eddie Boy said, man. But to land on that, man, I just feel, man, that we at a place right now because I saw 1984. I was living on Corny Street. I saw what the Olympics and drugs did to the hood. So now to zoom it up to 2025, and I got 3 more years to 28. I'm not gonna trick myself out of my position,
this is
homie.
this is this is what
Go ahead.
this platform is about. Because if we don't ask the tough questions, we'll never know the
Amen.
answers. So gang culture has weaponized social media for misguided purposes. And those misguided purposes seem to be people tend to put them away, to put it politely. They put them away and try to ignore the certain side effects of gang culture, because gang culture really to me is fundamentally retardation.
Okay.
Because every day you stick yourself into a circumstance of victimization. You put yourself in victim status. Because if you go out, you know, if you stand on this corner or you hang in this space or you get in this place, that there's going to be somebody that's going to come through, and they might have a 50 can Draco or whatever they might be getting. They're going to let it go, and you're going to be standing there turning up a can of old English. That is fundamentally
Mel,
retarded, bro. For
Mel,
you to
let
be
me say
standing
this. And Mel, and let me add this. And Isaac King can attest to this. Because the homie, hey, I used to hear about Isaac King, aka Eddie Boy, up in the joint. Salute. Hey, I'll say this, and Eddie and Oz can attest. I used to tell homies used to come in the cell and ask me, "Hey, baby, nose, let me get a book, let me get a magazine." They never want books. They wanted the double XL and the
there. They want
source
to look at some
magazine.
pictures.
They wanted the double XL, the Smooth, the Don Divas, and all the other ones. They didn't want to read what all the other books I had. The homies want to read they want the hip hop. So I already saw the education with some homies of how to farm and stretch knowledge with. PPP. And then watch this. Last
And
thing.
that, my friend, is why we dealing with a whole lot of
Okay.
information poor individuals.
Right.
And
So saying that,
there is an information drought amongst black people, and we have
but
to
Mel,
change
but
that narrative.
but
It's
Mel,
no
we
buts.
talking
It's
about
no buts. It's
Be,
no buts.
it is because what I'm speaking on, homie, is an experience. Listen, homie, I can attest, homie. The young homies don't want to. They want to just play basketball, smoke weed, listen to what I'm saying. I get what you said. We used to try to educate them. So you got to meet homies where they at. So when I used to see homies with these magazines, this is where your attention at. We used to get nigga. We used to build, bro.
Hey,
The
listen,
penitentiary. Let me
listen.
say,
I'm gonna
the
treat them like
penitentiary
Harriet. No,
fed
no,
two
hold on,
different
hold on,
governments,
hold
though,
on.
Mel.
I'm gonna treat them like Harriet Tubman. The ones that want to be free, I'm gonna free them. The ones that don't want to free,
I get
I
that,
gotta put them in the dirt.
Mel,
Simple as
Mel,
that. Leave them where
Mel,
they at.
and
You
I agree.
cannot
But what I'm
you
saying is,
cannot force people to do things they don't want to, because people have
I'm
made up their
speaking on
mind.
you and
Because there's a difference between black people and
I
niggas.
got you, Mel.
America
But
created
everybody,
the nigga ideology, the nigga experience, and his circumstances, situations. And then if we don't come to that point where we understand that we're dealing with two type of
I'm speaking.
mentalities.
But Mel,
And
but
you
I'm
can't
speaking
justify it.
on.
You keep saying but, no, there's no but.
I'm not justifying nothing, homie. I'm agreeing with you. I'm speaking.
Okay, Rose, I got you. Go ahead.
I'm not justifying it,
I
but
know,
I'm
I
with
know
you.
you hyper as a mother.
I'm with you, man. Man, you know I'm
Okay,
passionate about this shit, man.
go, Nose.
You know I'm passionate about this stuff, man,
I
because
know, but
man, I love my
we
folks,
got leave.
man.
If they want to be YNs, that's what they want to refer to
And
themselves. Then we must leave them where they're at. We can't.
okay, watch
They
this.
go on
Mel.
a carnival boat. They lower the car. Listen, for a moment, those they just lowered
Yes,
the
sir.
price of carnival sale. They went on there and acted a complete outright Darn fools, man. Carnival implemented some new rules now. They can't because them wasn't black people, them was niggas that showed they behind on that boat now. Now they're gonna be
Right.
scrutinized every black people because they're gonna look at black people and realize they're gonna be thinking like, oh, all black people act like them. No, they don't.
Right.
Go
And
ahead.
so Mel, to saying that to say, you got a youth that don't listen to OG. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm speaking on an experience. I'm only speaking on how I was when I was banging. So I had to put myself in those youngsters' shoes. That's all I'm saying. Stay with me, homie. I knew that 4 Extras didn't want to hear shit that I had to say. I'm from gangsters, homie. And it'd be different if you hear me out. Because it was what it was. I don't give a F what you say, nobody say. I know how that shit go, bro. Nobody, that dude, it was what it was. So I said, homie, you from schoolyard, you my ally. Help me. He's jammed. Take Tiny Bingo and 4 Extra and they'll listen. You, it's neutral. And that was the respect that I got from Big Drac, because that's my road dog. So a lot of these youngsters, like you speaking on, okay, watch this, Mel. Let's play litmus test. Let's really have a test. In 2000, let's understand where our attention span was with the youth. A movie like Baby Boy, we should beat the hell out of Ben Rand because stay with me, homie. I know it makes relevant sense of what we talking about, what we putting in our image. Not only us and what they feel we doing, but they also watching movies like Baby Boy, when you got a butt naked man fucking on your screwing your mama with Hoover on the back. So what? So we talking
That's a
image.
that's a you're right, but that's a movie. What
But
you
still,
doing?
it still has an influence.
You defending the indefensible, and it's arbitrary. It's
I'm speaking on the
arbitrary, bro.
ignorance. I'm speaking on the ignorance.
I know, but it's
I'm
arbitrary
speaking on
because
the
it doesn't.
ignorance that we put
There's
out
no
here.
reason.
Okay, what
There's
I'm
no
saying is,
reason to that system.
I'm not homie. I'm speaking on what these kids tell me where they get their image from. And
Okay, let me ask
can
you
we
this.
get
Hold on, just a second. Let me ask you this: who raised them?
raise who?
These kids you talking about?
Well, we talking about the image that they know that they G's. Y'all didn't. They don't look at some of you niggas like instrumental. Was you in the county jail running with them? I had
No.
good little homie Redbird as my celly. So I see these youngsters who's coming up in this system. And a nigga got a raise, and you know what they say? You ain't my daddy. I'm like, cuz, I'm not trying to be your daddy. I'm trying to get you home so you can go home to your family and be the father to your children. So no, I'm not your daddy. So we was getting a lot of baby boys up in there, bruh. Yeah, I land with that, man. I love it, man. I don't want to go back and forth, but I just hope that the brothers.
Who, who,
I got love for his legs,
who
man.
raised them to be like Baby Boy though?
You tell me.
Single parenthood.
Okay, where was we at?
They
In
were,
jail, smoking dope. Niggas was cracked out, beating up, jacking homies. Little homies didn't want to listen to OGs because OGs was on
but
that pipe and show. So let's talk
that
about it.
that may be your anecdotal experience, but it's not
No,
everybody's
not mine.
experience.
No. I'm not talking about no. I'm talking about the little homies that I saw coming up in the game. Yes, it was my anecdote. Because my little homies was beating up OG, fighting niggas and disrespecting behind smoking dope. So they wasn't listening to OG.
Yeah, you
That
right.
ain't just everybody hood. That's on this west side, east side, everywhere. And it was induced in the music. Didn't Compton Dre say OG come on swole doing pen after and then yeah so that was a Compton dude that wrote it, that song about it. So
Uh,
basically it was happening in the streets. So
so
I
let me
get the
ask you
baby
this.
boy syndrome,
Let me
but
ask you this, no.
Shout out to the youth, man.
What you gonna do about it?
I ain't gonna not. It's nothing that I can do, brother. But shout out to the youth, man. I hope
Yeah,
they
it
get it
is.
together.
It is something you can do, Nose.
Nah, it's nothing you
It
can do
is.
about it. What you gonna do, man? Don't throw it on
I,
me.
I'm doing it now by having this discussion
Nah.
with you, trying to
What we
change the
can do? How
narrative.
about this? How about this? How about this? What we
Okay,
can
okay.
do? Okay, we can't. What I'm working on, and I'll just throw it out there. If we want to get into it, I'm
Okay.
working on trying to get a boxing gym, homie, so we can
Uh,
box, and train our youth. They don't have to really be a fighter because I really think we had Henry Tillman as an instrumental because he trained me when I was in the after school program before Reagan cut that out. A lot of people don't know. We was trained. We used to go to Hoover Gym. But boxing, I'm gonna try to bring back boxing, homie, and hopefully we can get the youth back in the training. And I land with that. So I got
okay,
some
but
things right there.
why is it that we shout out to Michelle? What's going? Why is it that we challenge each other to all these fights, but we don't challenge each other to write essays, do political paper, political science, understand social science, understanding what is the social conditioning of black? Why we don't challenge each other to write those type of papers so we can communicate
Well,
better
you can
and
do that.
educate
I
one
like the
another?
military. I like let
Why
me
don't
run the
we?
army. I
Why
don't want
don't
to
we
run the
say? Let me
corps.
challenge you to
I'm
do.
just letting you know. That's not my department.
Let me
That's not my
challenge you to
department.
solve. I'm not talking about you. Take it away from you. I'm talking about. Let me challenge you to solve 10 algebra problems instead of you challenging me to fight.
Well, you making it about me. Then you shooting at me. Well, like I
No, no, no,
said,
no, 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 no. That's what I'm saying. It's not about you.
get
Take it away
those.
from you.
Okay, I get what you're saying, Mel. But everybody ain't no poet.
Ain't no who?
I said everybody's not a poet, brother.
It's not about being a poet. It's about changing the social conditioning of black people.
But for right now, everybody's aggression is going in the wrong direction. Why not take it out on the speed bag? Why not train not to be a fighter,
No,
just to
I ain't
get
saying that
exercise?
ain't a good
Can
idea.
you hear me
That's
what
an
I'm saying?
excellent idea. That's an excellent.
Well,
I'm
I'm just
talking about these.
training not to. Everybody don't have to train to fight, Mel. I'm not training everybody to go be a champ. I'm just saying whoever wants to get. That's my ring. That's my arena. That's my lane, and I land with that. I don't give a fuck what no niggas say. Not you, homie. And I don't care what no niggas say, man. I love you, man.
no, no, I got you, though. It's all good. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Yeah, shout out to my homeboy Day Day West Side Stunner, man. Don't be in your own way. Give yourself a chance to advance,
Because I
man.
feel, hey,
That's
the reason why I say that, Mel, because academics and athletics, it doesn't necessarily have to mean a dude got to get in the fight. We're talking about exercise. If the homies used to
uh-huh.
make us bust down on the yard, why we can't bust down in the gym?
I know.
So that's still part of training. I've been to YA, man. I used to box, man.
I
So
understand, but the
that's
real, the
all.
real don't come in
And
brass.
I learned that really was a skill set that it really was about life. It wasn't about hurting nobody, bro. It was really about because in the '80s, if you grew up like I grew up, we grew up watching Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, so we understood that there was an arena for some kids'
But
attention. I
those are
can't get mad when I
disciplines
was
too.
playing
Those are
sports.
disciplines, no. But if you're gonna teach a
I got you.
discipline, they got to be obedient and willing to accept
Oh,
that this is a
absolutely.
discipline and not to be used as something to harm and do detriment to the next
Well,
brother.
brother, I'm
You
not
got to be
making
able to
once
explain
again.
that too.
Okay, well, absolutely. So once again, what man, my blueprints. I got my blueprints. I'ma land on my blueprints, man. I'ma land on my blueprints. I love
All
you,
right,
Mel.
Nose.
All
Shout out to
right.
Nose, man.
Okay.
All right. We had Big Nose up in here, man. He get a little hyper, man. He get emotional about things. He's saying he's just passionate, and I welcome that. I like that fact that he is passionate, and he has the right. It's called righteous indignation. He has the right to feel the way he feel, but at the same time, we got to do better as a people. Shout out to my homeboy out there, Day Day the Stunner, West Side Stunner. He sent me a text. I like the fact that he paying attention because me and him kick the ball back and forth like soccer all day, all night. That's what we do. But it's interesting that we have this low perspective taking that we think that everything has to be a physical. altercation, the way we tussling and pulling and fighting and going after one another. It's just crazy how that is. Man, I challenge you to write an essay. Let's see what you write about. Let's see what my essay is about. And let's do some comparisons. Let's look at the political side. Let's understand the politics of this nation better. Let's teach finance. Let's teach investment. Let's nail guns over handguns. Nail guns over handguns. Hammers over triggers. It's quite simple because when you give somebody a trade that they can build, live, and make a living from, and actually take care of themselves and their family, they'll get rid of all that other stuff that they do. I'm telling you, it works. But we have to be willing to do the investment and get involved. That's why I asked him, what you gonna do about it, Nones? That's why I asked him that question. Anybody that comes on, I gotta ask them that question. I gotta add this too, guys, and this is a little off, but Dwight Howard's wife, a 2 whole months, is asking for 50-50 split on everything. She ain't shot no free throws. She ain't dunked no baskets. She ain't went to no training to do all the things that he had to do to get to the level of excellence as a basketball player. And this lady want alimony after being married. So here's the thing, guys. Be very, very, very careful. Women are using marriage as a hustle today. And I'm not saying all women. There's some very good women out there. Marlena being one of them. But there's a lot of more. Michelle, I'm sure Michelle and some of the other ladies that come into the chat, because they come in and listen to see what's going on with black men, trying to understand why we do what we do and why we so passionate about certain things. Like I told Knowles, I'm gonna be Harriet Tubman. The ones that want to be free, let's free them. The ones that don't, we gotta leave them in the dirt. There's no other way to look at that. But just think about that. The women in this country, and this ain't nothing got to do with black women, just women in general, they become rich or they become very wealthy through divorce and marriage and suing people like Diddy and suing people like Jay-Z, suing people like R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. It's easy for a white woman to come and say anything. Look at the brother Macklemore. Used to play with the Portland Trail Blazers. Went to a party, hooked up with a chick. He was at the party. Him and the chick had sex because he didn't, keep her or want to be with her or nothing. She turned around and said he sexually assaulted her. They gave him 10 years. She a white woman. He's black. It's unfortunate. That's what it is, guys. So be very, very careful how you move in this time. It's 2025. There's a lot going on. They even playing, they're now beginning to play with you in a way that you're not paying. That's why I push education. That's why I push knowledge, information. I don't be in it. I listen to people like Peter Zahn, who is a political, geopolitical. You look at Joe Rogan, you listen to other individuals. We can't just listen to Whack 100 and Loose Cannon and some of these other people. Stop listening to that stuff. That stuff is not doing nothing for you. It's not. Don't even listen to 19 Keys. Even Corey Holcomb, 5150, has some very important stuff to say when it comes to man and a woman. Go listen to Osei Duke Jackson. Go listen to Mediocre Tutorials, Anton Daniels. All this stuff, all this hood stuff, and all this stuff going back and forth, and all that stuff. And Adam 22 over there triggering people, playing games, playing reindeer games, you know. But I guess I'll do like no. I guess I'll land right there, right? I had I really actually enjoy those and hope we get him back on because he is very, very passionate about what he believes and what he says. So, and I understand that he went through a lot to keep all those personalities in a huddle and keep them from not wanting to do because you got the gangsters, you got the 40s, you got the Hoovers, you got the Compton, you got the Hub and the Dub. The Hub and the Dub go stick together regardless. The Hub and the Dub go back so far. Let me explain something about the Hub and the Dub. There used to be a project called Palm Wayne. Palm Wayne sit on where Martin Luther King and the Charles Drew Medical Center is today. It was torn down in 1968. In 1972, they built Martin Luther King. That particular project set on Compton. Part of it was in Compton, part of it was in Watts. That is the original Hub and Dub. Those individuals that lived on Palm Lane went two different ways. They went to the east side and they went to Compton. So there's always been a connection amongst the Hub and the Dub. See, when you understand history and you know how critical history, because history is medicine for a sick mind, within history is as a variety of human experiences that we can teach from and learn from. And I want to land this one more time, man. When you come on the internet, make sure you have your shirt off. Don't get on the internet. Because if you ain't got your shirt on the internet with me, I'm hanging up on you. But don't mind me just watching church moving. But go ahead and lock that door.
Cali finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. I leave bad man and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Reach for the low.
Lock the door. Marlena Williams, lock the door because we gone. Marlena getting proposals all in the internet and stuff. Boy, somebody in there named John Doe was on her like a cheap suit. And Johnny Sullivan, we on her, man. Come on, now. Pull yourself together. Lock the door, Marlena.